All right, hey people, it's October 24th, 2020. It's 12:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in Indiana. But anyway, I'm really sorry for anyone who was watching my last broadcast who left because I should have added this. It was something I was thinking about, and that doesn't make sense because see, I was getting ready to protest before they had the lockdowns. I could tell that they were planning on having well, at that time they were calling it like quarantining. I almost forget about all that. And everyone's like talking about how you shouldn't quarantine healthy people. And but I remember I was getting ready to start a protest before they even locked down to protest not having lockdowns, because I felt like they were thinking about it, they were planning it, and then it's like that NBA player gets sick, and I'm like, I bet it's definitely going to happen. Um, the dude never died. I think he went and played in the playoffs and seemed just fine and just healthy and never had his. No one's talking about, oh man, I wouldn't trade for that guy. He had corona. His heart and lungs will never be the same, right? Rudy Gobert and his teammate. I can't think of all those guys' names because I just kind of put sports completely on my head this year because that just made me sick that these guys have just basically, I think they're all guilty of treason. The fact that you never spoke out against this stuff. It's the fact that you'll sit there and just go along with this whole thing and you never talk against it. Because if you guys would have been like, "Hey, I'm not wearing a mask and I'm not taking a pay cut," and I kind of think it's bullcrap. I'm not afraid of the virus. I'm healthy. It looks like just old people who are health compromised are the ones that have to worry. I don't have to worry. I'm going to go out there. To heck with it. I mean, that's what I would have been like. And if they would have done this, I'd be still watching sports. But it's like I'm not watching it because none of them said that. But and then it's like, when they step out on those NBA courts, shouldn't they have been wearing masks? Because I'm told at work, oh, I don't care if you're running around and it's 110 degrees outside and you're lifting all this heavy stuff. You keep that mask on, buddy. You know, it's like, okay, if I gotta do that in 100-degree heat, 110-degree heat, carrying heavy things, having to move fast. Hey, I want to see these NBA guys go up and down the floor with a mask on because I gotta do it at my job and they're bumping bodies. You better do it at your job, right? I'm more than 6 feet away from people at my job. So I mean that's what I don't understand. That's what I think is retarded. There's a lot of people that's going to work with doing laborious jobs, and here these guys are. They're running up and down the court, and they're supposed to be so important, right? See, people like me are sort of replaceable at work. You're like LeBron James. What if you get sick? Will your team even win a championship? You're so important. Shouldn't you wear a mask to make sure you're staying healthy? And I know people go, "Oh, they're in a bubble," but eh, whatever. I mean, to me, that bubble was just kind of like an excuse, and I think they sent these. You know what? I think the reason why they had these NBA players do this whole thing in Disneyland is because a lot of them were like, "Oh man, I'm not doing this mask thing. I'm not going to play basketball in a mask." That's why they sent them to Disneyland. They're like, "Look, we'll put you in Disneyland. We'll put you in a hotel, and be in Disneyland. You'll have lots of fun, um, and we'll say it's a bubble, and that way you still get the playoffs because I think some of them were mad that they weren't playing in the playoffs. So they're like, yeah, you still get to play in the playoffs. You get to be in Disneyland, and if you go along with this whole thing, and so they went along with it. Or else, because I think if you would have told them, hey man, you're gonna have to wear a mask and go up and down, of course they wouldn't have done it. But anyway, sorry, little side note. But anyway, so at the beginning of this whole thing, um, I was getting ready to protest, and then I would start to see videos like this come out, where they're talking about these like funeral home worker and Wuhan were working 24/7 to cremate the bodies. Oh, let me bring that up on my screen because oh, it is up on my screen. Okay, I thought I was saying it wasn't, but anyway, so so I'm seeing things like that, and I'm seeing that they're like hiding bodies. I remember someone had some video like, look at all this like extra heat coming in from these areas, and they're burning bodies, and they're like, and they're trying to hide what this is really like. And there's also another video. I'm gonna just pull some of the stuff up on the screen. I'm not gonna play because I'm gonna make this kind of a short video unless people start talking in the chat room. I might talk back and then have a long discussion about all of it. But okay, I gotta figure out which video it is I want to pull up. Oh, okay, I know which one it is. One about the coronavirus whistleblower doctor. Because my whole thing is, I think this was all a scam. Like when people like me and many other people started to research this, and we started figuring out it's a scam. Like I know Media Bear is definitely one of them, man. It's like real hip to all this stuff. Obviously, he's doing videos and making songs about it. But anyway, so you have like this like whistleblower doctor. I'm just gonna kind of play Lane a little bit. Um, so anyway, I just want to play a little bit about. I'm not gonna finish the video, but I think it was of all things. Guess who this whistleblower goes to? One of the kings of fake news, CNN, right? Of all places you're going to run to. So, and Bart Sabrell, yesterday he's got this awesome almost 3 hour long video he just released. And Bart Sabrell's this same guy that said that did the documentary. A funny thing happened on the way to the moon, and he in his video. A lot of people don't. Some people don't even know this, but like he used to be. He used to be in journalism. Like he worked for one of the networks, and I guess when he started doing this whole investigating into the moon landing, that's what caused him to lose his job. Even though one of his producers said that they think it's true, but you know what Sabrell came up with, they say they think it's true. But my main point is Sabrell knows these people in these media companies, and he said, like, I think for one of them, he said that there was like 3 CIA agents that worked for some of them. And so I'd have to go back and watch this video. You can go find this video. Like I said, it's the most recent video he's done on his channel. Just type up Bart Sibrel, BART, then SIBREL, Bart Sibrel. But anyway, so if the government puts CIA agents into these organizations, and I think it was like at that, like there was at that time, I think he brought up something, where they were admitting that there was CIA agents in media. But you got to think, man, this is years later. There's probably even more working within them. And so, who's to say that the CIA didn't work with China to come up with this, to drive up fear, to make people think it's real? Because this is like the only thing that made me pump the brakes was my wife telling me, hey, don't go and have like a lockdown protest. Because, like I said, this is before they even announced the lockdown. I was getting ready to do this, and I was putting it all over Facebook. And there was actually a lot of people that were supporting me. But then my wife kind of talked me out and says, no, you should really talk to these people in these other countries and, make sure it's bad. And I was like, okay, I'll listen to you because you're home all the time and you kind of get to catch more of this. And I am at work for about 60 hours every single week. So maybe there's something you caught that I didn't catch. So I waited. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, no, I'm going to protest these lockdowns. But this kind of stuff right here is what made me like pump the brakes on it, because I'm like, well, are they hiding it? Is China actually trying to not make people think it's that bad, or is it really that bad? Or is it really that bad? Or is this a scam going on? And once I started learning out what a coronavirus was, like in February, I was starting to figure out a little bit about all this stuff, about virology, just reading a few papers on it. And I was like, wait a minute, this coronavirus seems like almost like a common cold. I mean, am I missing something here? And so, but like, so what is this? What is it? What were all these videos right here that they were using? That, like this whistleblower doctor from China calls up CNN. What is all this stuff, right? And I just kind of want to make this video. I wasn't even planning on making it this long. I just kind of had this thought that popped in my head after my last video. I was like, man, I need to get on the live stream, just kind of like throw this thought out real quick. So if this video is a little rough, sorry. This wasn't even something I was intending on make. I just didn't want to lose a thought. But I'm just like, what was all that stuff we saw about the crematories and doctor whistleblowers, China arresting them or killing them or whatever the rumors were, and not letting them talk and trying to not make sure these videos got leaked out of, like, what was it? Like, there was some woman that was talking about how she gets in a taxi or something. And, well, there's like some video of some woman getting in a taxi and she's supposedly leaving a hospital. And she talks about how someone was like moving around in one of the bags and they just threw it in the crematory anyway. Some Chinese lady. And so it's like I think the taxi driver was like, so they're burning them alive. And she's like, yeah, it's like the virus is just so terrible. And so it's like it was almost like, hey, this virus is so terrible, we might have to like just burn people and like overreact to it. And now it's like, man, after this virus being around for, what is it, 8 months? Probably longer than that. But and it's like, I know plenty of people who aren't wearing masks, that aren't practicing any kind of social distancing, and I have not heard one person getting sick in their community. So that's all I want to really throw out. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of this video is what was this right here? I just kind of want people to think about that. All that stuff you saw early on that you might already forgot about. Because I kind of forgot about it myself. Because I was like, man, why did I let anyone talk me out of doing that lockdown? And then I was like, oh yeah, now I remember. It was like things like this that were being brought up like in mid-February, and I was like, okay, all right. Now I knew about this like way back, but I mean, you know what I mean. But there was other things like this that were getting brought up later that kind of were of the same vein, I guess. So um, anyway, I mean, that's it. That's all I really want to make a video about. I appreciate the people who stopped by randomly to see my random live stream. I'm sorry I give no notification whatsoever. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna like hit that schedule button, at least like give people about 10-15 minutes advance notice, at the very least 5, but try to do about at least 15 minutes advance notice and let you know I'm going to do a live stream. But I'm going to wrap this up because I want to keep this topic still. I might do another live stream later on tonight. But I want to kind of keep this right at 15 minutes. I didn't even want to make it this long. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.